Namaste, Namaskar, and a warm welcome to one and all of you, my dear beloved friends. Thank you for all your um, participations and thank you for staying connected with us. And I believe that these sessions, in this journey of making many motivational videos, I give it a title as motivational video, but it is not to be called as a motivation video. It's about discussing on various nomenclatures of life, various aspects of life, and you and I live in this world, and it's that one life we live. And we live our lives for 1,000 years from now, 10,000 years from now, not even 100 years. The average age group or average lifespan is drawn between 65 to 70 years. Yeah, our ancestors were living for 70 to 80 years, and some people even hit a century. But it's coming down and down. And when the top analysts have sat together from various industries, from medical field, from even data science, they talk about data, right? And so many people, experts of various industries, sat together and they discovered one fact. What is the reason? What is the one important reason or two top reasons that the mankind's lifespan is growing shorter and shorter and shorter? It's because of two things that they are not able to overcome. Number one is stress, and the reason for stress is anxiety. Very, very simple reason, right? Why are you stressed? Is because of anxiety. Yeah, why are you anxious? Because you are living in a very competitive world. Technically speaking, logically speaking, it's not a very competitive world. The world is so diversified and versatile and so dynamic with varieties of options that you can make your preferences, which was never the case 2 or 3 decades ago. And for some reasons, people convert this positive energy to negative energy, calling it a competition. Yeah, we all have to run faster. We all have to do this. We all have to do that. You have so many varieties of choices to make. You take engineering, you take medical field. There are so many specializations you can do. You talk about the fields like non-professional. I mean to say the professional courses were engineering and medical science during my days. It continues to carry the legacy, but there are so many other fields. For example, catering, hospitality tour, or hospitality management and tourism, event management. Oh, there are so many things. And tailoring, fashion technology, these were not picking up during our days. People used to, my ancestors used to work in some field, agriculture and all that, or they go to some mill, mills, right? That is, you do the spinning, the machines to manufacture clothes, and cotton spinning mills and all that. They used to work there. People used to work in reservoirs, dams, and stuff like that, and so many other things. Nowadays, there is variety of choices. Just that we are not making our choices good enough, and then we end up in anxiety. I was really amazed, and I felt like sharing this before we step inside our actual session. And you need to find your ways to overcome the stress. You need to find the reasons for your anxiety, and both of them are absolutely useless and needless. Why? Because you and I are so blessed with so many varieties of choices in the world that we are living, and blessed are we. Our ancestors, our own grandfathers and grandmothers and fathers and mothers, our parents didn't have these kind of choices to make. They lived with one job. They served it for 35, 38 years with the same salary almost, with not even a hike. You talk to any youngsters, already they are drawing money in lakhs, and the starting salary they get is 10 lakhs INR, Indian rupees. Yeah, our forefathers would have drawn what, 1,000 rupees, 100 rupees, like that. That means what, so many hundreds of times they are drawing salary. Yet you talk these fellows, they are never happy. Yeah, my colleague is getting that much money. I got only 5% hike and all that. You don't even need a hike, man, for lifetime. Learn to live joyfully with what you have, right? It's not about that. It's not about money, but it's about killing your anxiety on things that are not going to build that positive energy. A warm welcome, yet another day, yet another beautiful moment and opportunity to discuss about another nomenclature of life. Today's title is a very funny title. I didn't even have a title. I don't know how to put this title. I would put this title as four words: Deal with your breaking point. Deal with your breaking point. Now, what is a breaking point? A breaking point is a point where everyone will break. That's all. What more definitions can I invent? Right? You Google about breaking points, so many breaking points. They talk about civil engineering breaking point. When stress is not calculated, a bridge will fall down. It will break up. Or some other explanation is, if your relationship is not well managed, you will break up. Yeah, this is youngsters. No, they use this word like anything. Last month I had a breakup with that guy, and this week I'm breaking up with this guy. Breakup has become a common trend. Why? Because they have hit the breaking point. The point where you're breaking is called as breaking point. Now, what is that point? What it has got to do with my life? It can be dealt with engineering, like how I told you, civil engineering and so many other breaking points. For example, there are certain political parties which are so charismatic and they ride on their journey, but there is a breaking point where another political party will overtake them. So the breaking point is also to be called as one person's failure is another person's success. Yeah, this person breaks that, but that person's journey begins. His victory is based on this person's breaking point. That's how the political world, the corporate world, the competitive world, and people are always, I told about competition, right? Always, they use the word competition, but actually the original meaning is not competition. It's about the envy. You're such a greedy fellow. Yeah, you're such a greedy woman. I'm sorry to use this languages. Just that you're not happy, and you call it as, you nicely package it in the word called as competition. Competitive world. We all have to work hard. We all have to strive. Yeah, striving for what? To fulfill your greed and the lust of your mind. That's it. Nothing more than that. I'm not saying you should be in competition, but the competition is always positive, right? You will not end up hurting a person. You will not end up in revenge. You will not end up in avenge. You will not end up in stress, depressions, anxiety, sleepless nights. Yeah, is your competition giving you all these things? Then it's not competition. The original meaning is called as envy, greed, lust, this, that, and all that. And this is called as breaking point. If any of these parameters hits your life, you are in the breaking point, which means you're already broken. Yeah. And another way of looking at this breaking point is, always people don't find ways to deal with their breaking point. I was just explaining to a little kid. I don't know from where she picked this up. Uncle, what is breaking point? She asked, and how to deal with it. Then I asked her, what is that your teacher told about breaking point? She told, if you drop an object, the point you drop it, it breaks. That's called as breaking point. I said, wonderful explanation, right? Now I said, you deal with the breaking point before the breaking point deals with you. She said, I did not understand anything. What is this, uncle? And I said, you deal with the object so carefully that you are not allowing that object to fall down and break. That's called as, you deal with the breaking point before your breaking point deals with you, right? Actually, it's other way around, right? The object is dealing with you. It's broken up. It's making you accountable. It's making you the reason why that object is broken. Therefore, you are not able to give an account, settle your account. The teacher warned you, handle it with care. The object will fall down, or probably it is made of that porcelain or glass object or something like that. Handle it with care. But you did not pay attention. You did not pay attention to the voice of your teacher, right? And you are playfully doing like this and carrying it and all that, and it broke up. If it has fallen down and it has broken up, which is what I'm defining, that you did not deal with the breaking point carefully. Therefore, the breaking point broke you. Deal with the breaking point before the breaking point deals with you. You can also redefine this definition. Enough of definition. Now, what does it mean is, we always need to proceed. We always need to be very smart to anticipate. We must be very smart enough to judge things, not judge people. We need to judge the situations. We need to judge the incidents that are foreordained or ordained or predestined before us. And how are we able to do that? Why we should do that? Why we should do that is already explained. Therefore, you are out of this breaking point, right? You will not end up in a breaking point. Any breaking point in anybody's life, other than natural disasters, unprecedented events, deaths, nobody can predict death, right? All of us have to leave this world one fine morning or one fine evening. or in the afternoon. Nobody knows when your life will go. That's all out of control. No, can anybody? They predicted tsunami, but that time they said something is coming, but they didn't predict. They couldn't predict in 2004 what will be the disaster, post consequences of the disaster. They could not predict. That's why everybody took it light. And you know what happened? December 26, 2004 was a disaster. Could anybody predict terrorism? No. Only after it happens, people were able to see the WTC towers are down. Nobody could predict, right? So such unprecedented events, such unfortunate events, it's not in your control, and that breaks you. That breaks your heart. That breaks your mind. That breaks your life. You have to find ways to overcome, which we have covered in other sessions. How to overcome sorrow and grief and all that. But apart from all these things, if you were to accumulate, this is not more than 5%. 95% of things that are leading us to breaking points are under our control. It is in your hands, it is in your control. And what are those? Some of these I've already explained. Things at workplace, things in your professional life, nothing but workplace, things in your personal life, things in your life before you get married, bachelor life. What is in your control? You know how to control alcoholism. No, but you're out of control. After I get married, all this will go away. Who said? Your wife may accompany you, right? So don't make such excuses saying that this is the time to drink and all that. By the time you get married, one fine day they will scan and they'll find your liver is missing. Your life is gone, right? Breaking point. It breaks your heart. What will be the mindset of your parents? My son is walking with a decayed liver, right? Alcoholism and people too much into partying. I met one of not my friend, actually my wife's colleague, and he went for a trekking. He is a trekker, and I also love trekking, but these days people are taking too much of risks in trekking. So he went to somewhere, Himalayas or Himachal Pradesh, I don't know, somewhere, and 8 days camp or something like that. They were trying different techniques of skiing and all that. One technique he tried and he got caught. His leg and thigh bone broke up and he can't walk. The guy is almost 38 years old, her friend, and he can't walk normally at all. He has to have that stick, that balancing stick, and many things in life he can't do. Right? I don't even want to know explain it, and I felt very very saddened for that very young man, right? And so many things, you don't you know that if you're going to get into certain things which are, and people in certain seasons, right, you're supposed to avoid some places, touring and all that, but they don't listen to the directives. They take a risk, yeah, and they go and they get caught and they die. They lose their lives. Breaking points which were in your control, you could have avoided. Good example, COVID times. Many people, if they had worn that mask and sat at home, they would have been alive. Many precious life gone. Well, people who sat at home also died. That's a different thing. But don't compare yourself with them, right? I have seen many people roaming around, and government has been imposing penalties and fines and all that. Nobody cared. And one young couple, they died. They were in their 50s. 50 is not a very young age, but they were in their 50s only. They died. Their son got married. Only child they had, orphan. He's an orphan. But then we all went. The entire church gathered, and we all went, and we all turned in splendid measures, and we supported the kid. And you know the reason why the parents died? He never wore mask, and he was shaking hands with everyone. And I felt in my heart he's taking a major risk, and this is going to break him up. And you know what? Weeks later, I hear that he's dead. A week later, his wife is also dead. Both of them were inflicted. Luckily, his son survived because he was young. Such things could be easily avoided, right? You could deal with your breaking point before the breaking point deals with you. The breaking points could be in the form of disasters, could be in the form of failures, could be in the form of depressions. I mean, incidents that lead you to depressions. A lot of people get into love affairs and all that. That's the age, right? You all pick up your partners and all that. But how long will you travel like that? Right? A study says that 8.25 people are only, 8.25 people are failure cases. If there are 10 young lovebirds, picking each other partner and all that, only 1.75 people are successful. They somehow escape like a rat race and they are married. In that 1.75, the diverse ratio is again 0.75. That means only one couple is able to be successfully walking through out of 10, the sampling study says. And parents are not sending you to for have friendship, that's different. But this is going to break you, and it remains as a scar. Many people are mentally impacted, many people kill their lives, many people don't have any kind of enthusiasm to study. But your parents are struggling so much to pay your fees, and all that fees are very expensive. Engineering, medical, and all that, the fees is very expensive. Lot of parents, the scale is, lot of parents are in the middle class or in upper middle class. They're really working hard to pay up your fees and clear your bills and all that, correct? But we don't, and that breaks them, right? Your behavior, your decision, your choices really break somebody, impact somebody. So you could deal with that, and you could save others. I can go on and on with so many examples, but all that I'm saying once again is deal with your breaking points before the breaking point could actually deal with you or break you. It's in your control. Definitely it's in your control, right? So many things, if there are 10 incidents happens, one or two things unpredicted, you can't do anything about it. But there are most of the things that are in your control. For example, road rages. For example, you fight with your neighbors. For example, being very rude with your wife or husband, right? Always, I will teach her a lesson. Wrong attitude, right? You don't have to teach her your lesson, because she's part of your life. You need to really understand what is expected, and you need to really be compassionate. These are the things which will really solve the problem in a matter of minutes. Yeah, you don't have to go to court and settle your disputes in the front of a judge, and he says no, nothing doing, you settle her and all that, and they settle and still they get divorced and live. And then after a few years they won't again patch up. No, this lady is not interested. No, I will not live with this monster. One such case happened very close by to our house. The fellow came riding a car full honking and all that, and fully drunk and all that. I say, hey, come out right now, I want to settle it. I want the divorce papers to be signed. It happened here, right? 1.5 years ago or something like that. Yeah, you and these are the breaking points which we could easily avoid and deal with. God bless you. Take care. I hope today's session was useful. I left behind various hints and messages here and there. But then all these are not just hints, these are like trigger points. Yeah. Um, one of my friends had a muscle pull, and then he went for acupressure. It's called as trigger points. They know where the trigger points are, and that trigger point they will be putting pressure, applying pressure. Why? Because the blood circulation will start, and the rejuvenating of those cells, right, the dead cells, they will rejuvenate it back. The pain goes away. That's it. So these are the trigger points where you have to apply those acupressure, that pressure, and let the cells be rejuvenated and regenerated. Therefore, the old cells, the old mythology is gone, and you will lead a new life. Take care. Please subscribe, share with your friends, whomever you know, and make every effort to watch these videos, and most importantly, make every effort to apply these principles in your life. Only then you will benefit. Okay. Take care. You want any new topics, let me know. We will try our best to deal with it. Namaste.